Hi guys!
Out of session rock shushing. Put that as a reminder for next time. Anyways, last left off, Atlas saw visions of Sjel and felt a tug on her hand.
Her hand.
And other stuff that we totally remember. What do you want?
You gotta tell me you had to have remembered.
Remembered what?
Oh, you fuck! I hate you.
Remembered what?
Look, I'm
There's a lot of things I
forgetful
can remember right
sometimes.
now.
Okay?
I remember that I ate Fritos, and that's the only thing I've ate today, which is actually concerning.
Oh my god.
Oh no, that's wrong. That's wrong. I had chicken noodle soup. Oh, and never mind. That's not relevant.
That probably is where you should end that whole spiel of what you eaten today for your own safety.
No, I was going to tell you some go back to a conversation we had like a week ago.
But no.
With new information I've discovered, but it can wait.
I want to know what this new information is.
It's not important.
Does it concern me?
Not really. It was just
Probably concerns something that
ramen, and then I was like, oh, I don't have ramen, but I found out I actually do have ramen.
Really? That's it? That's it?
Yeah.
That's the thing that could have waited?
Yeah, but y'all kept being persistent. So
I just dropped my keyboard.
That is not what you're supposed to do.
Whoopsies!
Oh, that's crazy.
What the fuck?
What the hell? We could proceed.
Okay.
Are we playing now?
Yes. So, if I remember correctly, did I leave you just in the middle of a road somewhere? I think?
Outside the lady.
Oh, yeah, outside of the Zacia's place, the Puppet Master, right?
No!
No? What the
Not the fortune teller, the person who saw the Reaper guy.
The person who saw the Reaper guy. That...
Sjel's friend.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Leotis.
Leotis.
But then who's the chick we're talking about then?
They didn't have a name, they were just a seer.
Oh, yeah, because you went to a seer, right? Yep. Okay.
Why am I the one who has to remember these things?
Because that was the first time that seers ever existed. It was such a minor character that it's not very easy to remember.
Exactly.
The seer was supposed to kind of be a one-off deal, and then we didn't have session for a bit. And it's... Remember, I'm still remembering... I have to remember 3 individual sessions. Cut me some slack.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't think about that. I'm sorry, Dom. My fault.
No, that's fine.
No, I really do apologize. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's the punishment I pay for deciding to do epilogues.
We don't have to do an epilogue.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
They're not going to be super long. I think we're on episode 2 of yours, so I think like 5 or 6 episodes of each person, so like 15 to 18 sessions total.
In the end, can I grow old and marry someone? Please.
Would Atlas be able to get over Alir though?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess after as many years has happened. I guess, yeah.
I would still be respectful. But,
So anyways, last we left off, you felt a tug at your hand, and when you looked up at the moon, you swear you saw a silhouette of Sjel on the moon.
He, uh,
He's on the moon.
it's also nighttime after a long time happened.
Yes.
You gotta
So
make a
you're
spaceship
currently
and go
standing
to the
outside the
moon.
Sears office. Well, you're standing outside the Sears place. I believe, if I remember where I positioned it, inside the town?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're inside the old town. Is there anything you want to do here, or do you want to go to the intersection?
Where's the tug on my hand leading me?
It doesn't seem to really be leading in a direction. It's more just kind of a soft tug, like if a child was tugging at your clothes. There's more of like some sort of feel of attention instead of like actually leading you somewhere.
I guess I'll go back to the intersection.
Alright, you go back to the intersection and you hear from the forest some sort of like weird noise. It seems to catch your attention. Do you want to go towards that noise? Or do you
Yeah,
want to...
okay, I'll go, I'll walk right towards it.
So you start walking towards the noise and it actually leads you deeper and deeper into the forest than you've ever been. Maybe
I was
about
gonna go straight off a
an
cliff.
hour and a half into walking, you come across this kind of old ruined building. And as you start to approach more, you see a faint orange light.
Boring.
And as you peek in, you see this old warforge seemingly crumpled down on the ground, sparking and spazzing out, and seems to be stuck on some words. Nothing you can easily decipher.
What? Can I get a little closer?
Yeah, you get a little closer. You can kind of just see the warforged kind of sprawled out on the ground, leaned up against the wall. From looking around, you don't see any creatures or people around, and you don't see anything openly dangerous except for the rubble that's around you.
Can I get, like, right next to him? Or am I gonna get zapped?
I would say... roll Constitution.
Uh-oh.
Retro.
Rolling the piss dice.
I heard your brother yell no.
17!
You managed to get up next to the warforged without any trouble. It's kind of, from what you can gather through its sputters and janks, it's saying something about some sort of malfunction it's suffering, some sort of injury and whatnot, and requesting repair. You, not being an artificer or technician, you have absolutely no idea how to fix this poor thing. The only thoughts that really plague your mind about it is either leave it behind and hope someone more capable comes by, or put the poor thing out of its misery.
No, I can't drag him anywhere?
With how much it's sparking, you don't feel safe touching it.
I can, like... Okay,
Albeit it is a warforged, and probably, to your knowledge, doesn't explicitly feel pain, it still sounds pained. With its begs for repairs.
Can I summon my puppet?
Yeah, you could summon your puppet.
I'm gonna summon my puppet.
Alright. So...
Can I stay conscious when I summon my puppet?
Yeah, you can summon your puppet as the companion. Instead of putting your soul into it. So you call upon your puppet, and after about a minute, you see a bundle of vines pop up out of the ground before your puppet forms from the center of them. What do you wish to do with your puppet?
would my puppet have any knowledge on Warforged?
I would say no, given the puppet is made mainly of wood.
Do you think my puppet could carry it without being shot since it's made out of wood?
I would say so. I could say you could try that.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my puppet if it's, not too much of a burden to pick him up and carry him.
The puppet gives you a quiet nod and then starts reaching out to grab the Warforged. As soon as your puppet seems to place a hand on its shoulder, all of a sudden the soft, mellow orange light turns a bright, dangerous red. And suddenly its words become a lot clearer, saying something about intruders and attackers planning on destroying it. It must defend itself. And as it stands up, you and your puppet both step back in fear. Suddenly you see a core in its chest start to glow with energy, clearly being its weak point. Time for you to fight. Do you wish to keep your puppet summoned during this, or do you want to dismiss your puppet for the time being?
I'll keep the puppet.
Okay, so it's you and your puppet versus the Warforged.
I don't want to kill him, man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you wish to do? You get an action for you and your puppet.
Do we still have our puppet character sheets? Did you send that to me? I forget.
You should have it, yes.
Uh-oh. Well, what I'm gonna do
Mine's
right now...
with Phoenix's character sheet if you put yours with Atlas's. You can look on your Atlas sheet.
I did not put my sheets together.
You're not smart like I am, Tiki. Check it.
Document. Aha, there it is. I found it.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw my umbrella at it.
Alright, roll to umbrella it.
Specifically, like,
Yeah.
a javelin throw.
Roll to Mary Poppins if Mary Poppins was in the Olympics.
That's a 7. I don't Mary Poppins. Oh, I do want to say that this is my spirit umbrella since I don't have my old umbrella.
Okay. You check your
I have
spirit
to go
umbrella
find it.
and it kind of just pikes into the ground next to the Warforged. What does your
shit.
puppet wish to do?
Ensnare.
Alright, roll.
Get him. Get him. Holy shit, 16.
Nice. So, you see the vines sprout out up from under the ground and entangle the Warforged. You see the kind of plant, like the vines kind of singe a little bit from the constant shocking, but it doesn't seem to do enough damage to possibly break them apart. So, it is now the Warforged's turn. The Warforged is going to attempt to break out. That will fail. Your turn. What do you wish to do as Atlas?
Do I still have, like, my lantern staff thing?
Yeah, you have all your weapons from before.
Okay. Since this guy is grappled, I'm going to take the bottom of my lantern staff and stab him in his core.
Okay.
What happened to not wanting to kill him, ma'am?
He's attacking me.
Brother.
Okay, roll to stab him in his
cat-
core.
My cat has just walked in. 11.
Okay. You run up and you stab your staff into the core. You don't break it, but you definitely hear something crack. What is...
I feel bad for whoever creation this is.
So what does your puppet wish to do?
Ensnare double time.
Alright, you wish to strengthen the ensnare. Roll.
Yes. Holy shit, 19! Why does my puppet roll better than I do?
So,
you need it better.
your puppet seems to strengthen the vines around the Warforge. The vines seem to thicken and encase with a heavy bark. It's now the Warforge turn. It's going to try to break out. It instead somehow manages to trip over and be suspended in the air.
Oh, now feel even worse.
Atlas, your turn.
I'm gonna crack him in his heart again.
Alright, roll.
Oh no. Oh, that's a 7. What the fuck?
You sprint up and swing down your staff in an attempt to stab it in its core, but you instead miss.
You just need to act like you're rolling for your puppet every time.
I don't know how to do that.
Just be like, okay, I'm gonna roll for
Ensnare.
ensnare.
It's now your puppet's turn.
What's your puppet's name?
Root.
Root. I'm going to go for Root.
Rude. Well, my puppet sees me struggling and goes, "Fine, I'll do it," and takes the rod of vine ensnaring and shanks him.
Okay. Roll.
I know it's not its intended purpose, but
I mean, hey, if it works, it works, right? That's the freedom I've given you guys.
5. It did not work.
You know what? My bad for this. I totally forgot to give you advantage. You get 2 because it's double ensnared.
That's even worse. Don't talk to me.
That's my bad.
Don't talk to me. This thing rolls like ass. I'm picking a different dice.
Did you fail both advantage rolls?
Yep.
Oh damn. Okay.
Oh, did you want me to roll again for Atlas?
No, just for the puppet. I'll make up the missed advantages for Atlas next turn.
Oh, it'll be fine. I guess I'm rolling cheese dice on this.
Okay, the Warforged is going to try to break out again. It manages to start breaking through the vines.
Uh-oh.
It's going to try to break out the second layer. It manages to free itself.
Uh-oh.
Atlas, it's your turn. What do you wish to do?
I'm going to try and stab him again.
Alright, roll. I'll give you advantage on this because I forgot to give you advantage for, ensnared.
16! 16!
That works. You sprint up and holding your spear out like it's a lance, and you easily pierce the Warforged's core. And as you pull out the spear and you stand triumphantly and watch as the Warforged slowly starts to power down, suddenly a flashback starts in your head, and all you can picture is Phoenix in the exact same position as her core got destroyed. As you see the Warforged drop to the ground.
I'm gonna start crying.
You enter a complete breakdown on the ground as your puppet simply walks to your side and comforts you. You spend the better part of a few hours sitting there on the ground, mourning your friend, before you suddenly feel the bright beam of light of the sun hit your eyes.
I didn't sleep.
There is a constant amount of steam just coming off of your face. It is as if you've lit several cigarettes and just stuck them into your face.
I also think it would be funny to cradle the Warforged like it's Phoenix and just be bawling.
I'd like you to add a temporary buff and debuff to your sheet real quick. The buff is disguised. With this small smoke screen over your face, people cannot easily identify you for who you are.
Oh god.
So, who knows, maybe you could snatch a few things, nobody can punish you. However, your debuff is you're blind. You are somewhat blinded by the smoke screen.
Can I stop crying?
Well, it's less of the fact that you're crying anymore now, it's just all the amount of tears are just steaming away on your face.
But steamy tears.
So, that's gonna stick there for a bit.
Oh no.
Your puppet, realizing that you can't easily guide yourself anywhere, decides to take you by the hand and kind of guide you away from the Warforged body. And leads you back to the intersection.
Crying.
Back at the intersection. Do you wish to do anything while you're at the intersection?
I'll make a little sign saying Warforged in need of help. And be very sad.
I think help is a very big understatement, but okay.
In need of new core.
In need of a new lease of life.
There's also got to be, tear stains on it.
So you kind of chicken scratch the words Warforged in need of repair on a sign and just kind of stick it into the ground. And the soft wood is just blotted with tears. And slightly scorched from your burning hands.
Where else can I go? Where's at the intersection?
So, there's the obvious 4 routes. There's the route to the Puppet Master. There's the route back to the town. There's the route to the old survivors' hideout. And then, of course, there's a route back to the forest.
And just go cry to Lizacia.
I could do that. I could go cry to Lizacia.
Of course, you could always use things like Insight or whatever if you want to look around for more hidden things. These are just what are openly visible to you. Well, as visible as looking through a smokescreen can be.
Can I ask my puppet if they know the way home?
You ask them if they know the way home, and you kind of can somewhat see through the smoke screen that they give you a confused face, and they speak to you telepathically. Define home, because home for me is probably different from home for you.
I'll just keep crying.
So, upon hearing the response, instead of formulating some sort of sentence, you just go right back to bawling.
I'm making the smokescreen worse.
You are indeed making the smokescreen severely worse. So, what do you wish to do?
I will slowly, very slowly, stop crying.
Okay, you calm down your crying.
And I will further explain to if they can remember where the old hideout for the treehouse was. With Doll and Squeak and Pip.
So
And yeah.
you bring that up to your puppet, and they kind of seem to think for a minute, but they can't easily remember what that route would be. Because even though they are binded to you and do share a bit of your memories, there are some memories they cannot reach.
Ruh-oh. I think we need to go to the moon. I think Sjel's trapped in the moon.
Oh no, I can't make that joke.
Upon saying that, your puppet kind of just gives you a very concerned and confused look before simply asking, how do you plan on doing that?
I'm jumping really high.
Before you can even bring yourself into a crouched position to jump, the puppet just grabs you just tightly on the shoulder.
No, I say I'm jumping very high. I don't go to jump.
The puppet just grabs you on the shoulder and looks at you and just simply says, "That's not gonna work."
Oh, man. I'm gonna try my best to look for a different way to go.
Alright, roll perception.
I'm gonna go with disadvantage.
Yeah, you get disadvantage due to being blinded.
Oh, 10.
You look around. The only other paths you notice are a path towards Sjel's old hideout, and you do notice a slight bit of a trampled down path kind of to the side of the forest, which never really caught your eye before.
I'm gonna ask my puppet if they can see that, because I can't.
So, you point them towards the general direction where you think you see the trampled path, and they give you a confirmation that they see it.
Is there anything in Sjel's old hideout that I would think to do, or to go to?
The only thing that you could think of in wise of Sjel's hideout would probably be notebooks, maybe some information detailing how he would handle the situation of him disappearing. As knowing how he kind of foresaw things and such, he might possibly have thought of it himself.
He probably would just say, "Leave it be, I'm already dead."
But you are more than welcome to head back to the old hideout and see if there's anything there.
Didn't I already head to the old hideout?
You did, but I don't think you did much too deep looking around. I think you mainly just searched his room for just some things in there, but you didn't really do too deep looking around anywhere else.
Alright. We're going back. I'm looking through notebooks.
Alright. So you head back and you climb into the bunker, and you start to try to look around for some notebooks. Your puppet ends up helping you out and calling you over to an area. And as both of you start digging through notebooks, suddenly you notice your puppet kind of grab you by your head and spin you to look at them, before they simply grab some sort of like weird rag and brush it across your face. And suddenly the smoke screen is gone.
Don't spit wash my face!
They simply gesture you to a notebook, and as you read through it, you realize Sjel somehow managed to think of this exact situation where you would be smoke screened. Simply saying to take a rough cloth and just brush it across Atlas's face. For that would clean up the steam.
Thank God, because I can't see.
So,
You can now.
as you and your puppet continue looking, you do find a decent amount of notebooks. You find a lot of empty ones. It's clearly some he didn't get to writing into.
Or maybe they are and they're just black light. They wrote in lemon juice. Although I don't think I would think of that in the moment.
I don't think
Because
Atlas would think about that, but I also don't think Sjel would bother with invisible ink. Because clearly, if he wants to hide something, he would do it he would encipher it.
More old-fashioned way, because he's old.
He would cipher it like he did the last letter he ever did.
Like the shopping list?
Yeah.
It is a shopping list, I know it.
So, you do find some other booklets, and then you come across a few that are labeled. Some are just some little logs he did. One specifically, though, seems to state an event of disappearance.
Oh no.
Do you wish to look through that one?
Yes!
So,
I'm sad again.
You real quick open it up, and you notice on the first page, it goes through a table of contents, and it seems to list off everyone from the old group. You, himself, Frost, Alir, and Pika.
I want to see, can I first look at what's written for my name?
So,
if you don't have that actually, thought of, you don't have to.
Well, you look into your own, and it kind of, goes in, and it starts off with him saying that in case of you ever disappearing, although the method to easily get you back may or may not be quite cruel in many eyes, it is more than a surefire way to get back, is to simply just convince either Campbell or Alir to act like they're in severe pain or trouble. And if somehow you manage to hear, then you would probably most likely come rushing back or call very loudly for them to. Or just look out for a very tall smoke pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because somehow you'd either get lost in the woods, or if you got captured, somehow you'd find a way to burn something by accident.
Yeah.
There doesn't really seem to be much else that he left from there.
Okay, I'm gonna go look at Sjel's, if there's one for him.
So you flip a few pages and you finally get to Sjel's part. And it mentions a bunch of different things. And clearly he definitely thought of somebody other than himself reading this book, given that he bothered to actually leave something for himself. It starts out by saying, if I disappear, assume I did not. If I do not come back in the next 2 days, start thinking something's wrong.
Well, I don't know if that's something. Because I don't know how long it's been. I'm gonna shake the book violently.
You start shaking it violently before the puppet calms you down and starts showing you the next few lines. And then you notice it starts to get more into the whole contract situation.
I put my glasses on.
You get your old granny glasses and you quickly slide them on the tip of your nose and kind of bring the book up at an angle. It reads.
Look down at it.
It reads in the event of if he disappears due to contract-related circumstances, for either him not completing the contract or maybe some sort of thing with Satan. Your first place should definitely be to look in hell. If you can't find him in hell, you're kind of screwed on that scenario. But hell is where he suggests looking for him if he disappears due to some contract-related issue.
What? Remember it was contract-related because we couldn't kill enough cult members or something like that. And we couldn't kill them. And then it was like, grr.
I will allow you to roll to recall for details if you wish, or just recall.
I will recall. I will roll.
Okay, roll.
Don't mess up, or you're gonna forget something.
That's not good. I remember.
What did you roll?
I'm not telling you what I rolled. I rolled a 4.
Well, okay, that'll pass specifically because the circumstances were engraved in your memory from the utter breakdown you had when it happened. You remember the note that Sjel left, saying that he probably got sent back to hell or something due to not being able to kill off Oblivion like his contract stated he should. And you remember that his contract with you guys and Satan did include something about him killing off Oblivion, which did not happen.
Well, technically it did, because he sacrificed himself.
But in the fine print of the contract, it stated that Sjel or you guys must.
Fuck!
So,
Devil's in the details.
the only route you could think of is currently going to hell and squeezing information out of Satan. Or maybe hoping you come across Sjel droning away.
Do you think I could have tea and a nice conversation? I'm talking to my puppet. With the devil. Oh, got them with my glasses on my nose.
The puppet merely just shrugs. Not having enough experience with the devil themselves to know if that's a possibility. You could always think about it on the way there, though.
Alright, I'm gonna shove a bunch of books out of the way.
You shove a bunch of books out of the way. Do you wish to pocket a few so you can leave notes for Phoenix?
Yes, I want as many as I can get.
You stuff about 5 journals in your pockets. Which you feel should just be enough to leave some messages for Phoenix. If the books survive that long into the future.
Well, I hope they do.
So, what do you wish you do? Do you wish to go to hell, or what's your plan?
Yeah, go to hell, Mom.
Yeah, I'm going to hell. I'm gonna do what I did in point 5, and I'm gonna look at the palm. Wait, is it the palm of my hand or the back of my hand? And
It's the left palm.
trace.
It's the left palm.
Yes, I'm looking at my palm and tracing it on the floor.
So, you real quick write out the sigil that was put on your hand, and after a few seconds, a portal opens straight into the hot lands known as hell.
Okay, I'm gonna tell my puppet. You might want to go back. You might want to go back to Lazacia. I'm scared you're gonna get toasted down here, buddy.
Root nods and then leaves, and you jump into hell.
Okay, goodbye. I'm gonna grab my soup dog and get her going.
Campbell dives in with you.
My very
He's gonna
fat,
boil. He's gonna
my
become
very
boiling soup.
fat soup
You're
dog.
very fat and big soup dog.
He's
Yeah.
still digesting a body.
Yeah.
So you are now in hell in front of Satan's area with Campbell.
Hold on 1 second.
Now I want Moss to just draw a very chubby super dog.
I was being told about supper. What was that?
And now I want to watch you draw the very chubby super dog.
I will draw a very chubby soup dog.
Yippee.
So you're in front of Satan's, very big house with Campbell by your side. What approach do you wish to take to Satan? Do you wish to take the bad cop, kick in the door and get very angry, or do you go for the more calm approach?
I'm gonna take a tea set out of my bag. If I have one. That's not smashed to shit.
Yeah, you kind of materialize a tea set out of your bag. As all good grandmas have. They always have a tea set on the call.
I'm gonna have a little tray. And
You have a little charcuterie board, some little tea, some crumpets, some little cookies, light danishes.
I'm gonna knock on the door very
Kind of tea is it?
nicely. I don't know.
It should be
Cinnamon.
green tea.
Cinnamon.
Aw. Cinnamon green tea.
You have a nice, constantly piping hot teapot of cinnamon tea.
I feel like the devil would like cinnamon.
You
Maybe
do a
some cream
light,
and
polite
sugar on
knock
the
on
side.
the door, and you see the door swing open. And as you walk in,
Ah.
Satan's sitting there just staring at you, and as soon as he meets your eyes, you can see the immediate expression go from neutral to tired.
Give me some tea, Mr. Devilman.
As soon as you offer him tea, you see his expression go from tired to confused. Did you just offer me tea?
Hey, cinnamon, you want
knew you were
cream or
gonna-
sugar? I just
Clearly you're
start
not.
putting a cup of tea together.
He kind of seems taken aback by this and simply says, "You're clearly not only here for tea. What do you want?"
I just want to talk.
Over tea.
Yeah, I want to talk
fine.
over tea.
He obliges and he summons a table and he brings himself down to a more workable size. You set out your tea stuff and both of you share some tea. So, what exactly did you want to talk about?
I was curious about, I'm gonna show him my palm. I'm curious about this. Does this look familiar?
That looks like a binding mark, usually used by certain demons who are willing to give control to another being. But it also allows said demon to unleash abilities they could not do on their own.
I
Why
was
exactly do
wondering
you
about
ask?
that demon that you would be talking about, because I had made a contract that was not fulfilled, and I'm not sure if you remember all the cult taking over the world, but I do.
Oh, don't worry. Whatever happened between there clearly doesn't affect here. Gods aren't affected. We remember.
Oh, good.
Clearly.
You remember.
Well, of course I do. I'm not from the future. What, you think I'm dumb?
I would like to apologize for the crass ways of my past.
It's fine. So, let me guess. You're looking for Sjel.
Yeah, I don't know what he is. He said he would probably be here, but I'm not exactly sure.
You see Satan raise up his hand and snap his fingers. And you hear a heavy weight being dragged. And as
Oh,
you
God.
look over to the sound, you see Sjel clearly much, much, much more worse for wear than when you first saw him here again.
No!
His body is practically pale and seemingly drained of blood. His
I'm
eyes...
closing my eyes. I'm closing my eyes. Don't explain it to me.
The steam came back. The steam came back.
Yeah, the fog's back.
Immediately the fog comes back. And you can somewhat slightly see Satan just grow a concerned look on his face. And you hear him clap before suddenly you hear the heavy weight get closer and closer to you. And you feel a rough rag drag across your face.
No, my eyes are closed.
So, Satan sees your eyes are closed, and he begins to speak again. I'm sorry, did you not want to see him?
Well, I was just curious. I was not sure.
Let me guess, you close your eyes because of how he looks now. Worse for wear than he once did.
I can't take that right now.
They already lost their robot Pukin, man. Cut them some slack.
The fog comes back.
Again, he claps his hands, and Sjel is forced to
I
clean it from
I
your
push
face.
the cloth away. Oh.
I believe
I'm
your
making
friend
a sound
thinks it's
on
very rude that you do not wish to see his face.
I,
Aren't friends supposed to
Why
accept
ain't
each other
Sjel
for who
speaking
they
yet? I want
are?
to hear his voice.
Yeah, I just...
Sjel isn't speaking, it's Satan that's speaking.
I know. That's why I'm complaining about. I want to hear Sjel's voice. Why ain't he speaking?
His mouth is probably sewn shut or something, and he's just like, fucking really, Atlas.
You really wouldn't know because you decided not to look at Sjel.
Yeah, Man, this fog is thick. I can't see him.
Yeah, so.
Do you really not wish to see the friend you just requested?
It's not that. Like, I want to see him, man. But I think I need to see a therapist before I, like, look at his face.
You can for some reason definitely feel the aura of disappointment irradiating off Sjel as you say that. You can picture him just saying "fuck you."
Fine, I'll look at him.
You finally look at him and you see definitely that he's been through some immense torment. You clearly see that both of his eyes have been removed, so he's...
he took both?
He's merely going off of sound alone. You see stitches kind of going all the way up to just under his eye sockets, down to his chin, clearly keeping his mouth sewn shut, but positioned in just a way to maximize pain, and a large metal plate bolted down to each cheek. You see his right hand, where the chain was once binding him, was cut off.
Oh.
And he seems extremely, extremely drained. Satan
can't do it.
Satan deeply laughs. I'm sorry, was it not what you were expecting?
And no, it was not.
Well, I have to ensure that he can't manipulate anything.
Because this is a lot of pain.
Well, of course, Sjel has caused me many problems over the years. About time that he finally got put in his place. I would have done this earlier, but...
You're a god, so I can't say that out loud.
Oh, go ahead. No judgment here. It's hell, after all.
I don't want to get my ass kicked, though.
Oh, fuck you!
There we go. Alexa said it, not me.
You see Sjel, like, you can see his eye sockets seem to narrow as you say that. As he stares at you, clearly, seemingly just shaming you with his vision. Well, whatever vision he doesn't have. But he's clearly
Sjel,
shaming
I'm over
you.
here, not over there.
He looks in what he believes is the general direction of Satan, which he's not too far off. He's just a few inches off. And then looks back at you, and all you feel is his hand press against your cheek before getting removed, and you feel a soft smack. And then you see him thrust the middle finger in your face.
I'm gonna laugh at myself.
Clearly he hasn't changed at all since the last time you've seen him. That is one thing I let him keep, his attitude. Better without a mouth.
Well, it wouldn't be Sjel if he didn't have his attitude.
His anger issues, if that was what you're gonna say.
Well, anger issues fits in with attitude.
Regardless, you're not getting him back. Ever.
No, yeah, I know.
So, whatever you wish, say your last goodbyes to him.
Goodbye.
Oh no, the mist is coming back.
The mist slowly
They
starts
can't
building up
visit?
on your face again. Sjel now just kind of sticks the rag on your cheek so that it doesn't steam up your face.
No! Take that thing off my face!
He shakes his head no.
No!
Say your final goodbyes, because after this, I'm forcing you out. For you to never return.
What? What?
I don't need you coming down here and breaking him out.
You don't want tea time?
I could care
Or
less.
cookies?
I could care less.
Do you have a favorite type of cookie?
Why would you assume the king, the ruler of all hell, has a favorite cookie?
Snickerdoodle.
You're the weakest one.
No!
Cinnamon snickerdoodle.
A really big one.
Say your final goodbyes, Atlas. Or else you're leaving without them.
No. I'm gonna put my teacup down and stand up.
You stand up. Sjel kind of roughly tries to gauge his visionless gaze over to you, only being like a few inches off. Well, are you going to give your goodbyes?
Can I have some privacy?
Fine. You see Satan snap his fingers, and suddenly you and Sjel are alone in a void.
Oh, I wish you could talk. I'm gonna give him a hug.
You give him a hug, and unbelievably to you, he seems to reciprocate it. You kind of you feel the remnant of his old strength in his hug, but his withered body reduces his strength by an immense amount.
You could probably pick him up and throw him.
Probably not with a giant ball and chain that he has lugging him around.
True.
Do you think I could draw a smiley face on the ball?
You
wouldn't see it, but it'd be really funny.
You could try.
Mom, I'm really crying right now.
I told you this was gonna be worse today.
Oh, I hate you.
You leave a small smiley face on the ball. Sjel hears the slight sounds of you drawing upon it, and you kind of see where his cheekbones kind of are, just kind of rise up, seemingly trying to formulate some semblance of a smile.
Smile.
You're seeing a lot of rare things out of Sjel now that this is a final goodbye.
What?
You're seeing a lot of rare behavior out of Sjel, considering now that this is a final goodbye. He seems a lot softer than he used to.
He's the last one!
Do you wish to say anything to Sjel?
I don't know. I'm gonna say to Sjel, I wish this was a goodbye, and then I hug him again.
You feel him nod as he returns your hug. And as you slowly back off from the hug, you see him kind of give you a gaze that's calming and warming and doesn't seem expectant or demanding of anything. He clearly understands your stress and wishes to give you the time you need here before being forced to go back to whatever labor he's been assigned to.
I heard that. Look what you did, Dominic.
I feel sorry, but at the same point, don't worry, I promise campaigns in the future probably won't be this sad.
Hold on.
Take your time. Let me know when you're ready again. Don't worry, this isn't the last you're going to see of Sjel. It's just the last time you're going to see him in the epilogues. Sjel can always come back in the future. He's still a mentor after all.
Oh,
And you can live happy knowing in the normal timeline he's going to start adopting children, running an orphanage, and being a lot more laid back. and not looking so, dead inside.
With both eyes and hand?
Both eyes, hand, flushed face, full face, full body. He's actually gonna look alive.
He's gonna look less traumatized.
Indeed. He's gonna have hair that goes past the top of his head. Because he won't be sporting a military haircut anymore.
That's fucking good. Alright. I'm gonna make Campbell say goodbye too. While I jerry-rig something up and I tear a piece of cloth off my cape.
Campbell sprints up to Sjel and kind of tackles him in the chest. Sjel almost collapses over due to his weakness, but you see him get down to his knees and start petting Campbell and start giving him head scratches and stuff.
Thanks, Sjel.
I'll say, I'm sorry he's a little fat, he's digesting someone.
You kind of see Sjel give a few head nods and some hand movements. And even though he doesn't have any way of communicating to you with voice, you kind of seem to somehow understand exactly what he's saying. And you just interpret it as, well, I damn hope he gets this big. Popo needs to eat.
Probably get bigger.
Damn right you should get bigger. Popo needs to eat. Give him all the dead corpses you ever need. And I don't know if you need cultists. I don't think you're going to find any more of those.
What was he digesting again?
Dead cultist. Probably the last one.
Oh.
It's the only cultist to ever exist now that the events happened.
No.
Huh?
I tore a piece of cloth off the bottom of my cape, long ways.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom's ripped now. Could I either fashion that into a scarf or some sort of arm wrap to cover his lack of hand?
So,
do you think he'd be able to keep that?
I think the best you could reasonably get away with is a wrist covering.
Yeah,
to cover the wound. That's the best you can get away with.
Yeah.
So you make him a small wrist covering and you put it over his very very unhandy arm, and you kind of you wrap it around and ensure it's going to be a tight, snug fit. He gives you he stares up at you, and then you see his cheeks rise up a little bit. Suddenly you feel a kind of pooling feeling, and you start to notice that your time with Sjel is now finally almost up. And he seems to notice this too.
Let me give him one last hug.
Before you can even offer the hug, you notice something completely unprecedented from Sjel. You see him offer the last hug.
Oh no!
You both embrace him one last hug, and then suddenly you find yourself back in the overworld, hugging at the air.
Back to Lysatia?
But as you're back at the living world, you do feel some strange stinging on your left palm.
Please tell me it's not gone.
And as you look at it, you do see that the sigil is gone, but instead left with something else. A small inscribed message saying simply, "Heaven or hell, wherever you end, we will not forget each other." Simply ending with Sjel, your friend.
I can't see, but I'll go back to Lysatia.
You stumble your way back to Lysatia, kind of bumping into things. Eventually remembering that Sjel said you can always wipe your cheeks with a rough cloth, so you do so to clear up your vision as you walk inside Lysatia's hideout.
And it fogs right back up again.
Yep.
You're just constantly brushing away the fog. What do you wish to do while you're at Lysatia's?
I'm just gonna sit and cry.
So you just kind of sit down on the ground and cry, and you hear a soft kind of clomping noise, and as you look up, you see the butler marching up towards you, before leaning down. Is everything okay, Miss Atlas?
Maybe? I don't know.
Is it something you wish to talk about, or is it something you believe
No.
you need to deal with alone?
I just want to sit here.
Understood. Would you like any tea? A cookie, maybe? Anything I
Let
can
me
fetch you?
start crying again.
You immediately start crying, and you kind of notice the butler with a small bit of panic. He kind of just simply says he's sorry and leaves you with a rag to clean up your tears, before giving a soft bow and returning back to his post. With all the events of today, you decide it's probably better to just rest on everything. You ask Lizacia if you can head into the dorm rooms. She gives you the go-ahead. And as you lay down on the bed, you start to inscribe away into one of the journals, leaving a entry sitting there so that perhaps maybe Phoenix could find in the future. And you tuck it at the foot of the bed, and you head to sleep. And that is where we'll end the session.
You can't do that to me, man.
Don't worry,
That's
that is
not what I want.
I think that is probably going to be the most emotional session out of all the epilogues.
You can't do that. That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. You can't do that. Mm-mm.
Don't worry, you'll never have to see Sjel in such torment again. Unless, of course, he ends up getting so many children that he starts having so many children to deal with. But you'll never see him in that much pain
he's
again.
He'll also probably be a babysitter because if Atlas has kids too,
Yeah.
or if Campbell has puppies. Mitosis.
No, Campbell is guaranteed to have pups because Evan.
Evan.
Yeah. Evan chose the "In Campbell We Trust" quote. So Sjel just runs like an orphanage, daycare, and freaking adoption center. All the children can play around with all the little Campbells. But that should, by my plan, be the most emotional session we will have.
I thought, since Boss was playing a character, they can be a mentor as Atlas.
No, so I allowed it so that Atlas could still be a mentor, but not a mentor that's there.
Oh.
You can
But
still...
I can't whisper things in Evan's ears.
No.
Not like go make a pie, you pie boy.
No.
I want to do that. Fuck.
That is the ruling I've decided on mentors. If the player of a mentor is playing in the campaign, whoever wants to have that character as a mentor can still benefit from the perk, but that character won't be there as a mentor.
Yeah, Belle would be his mentor.
Yes. He'll bring him notes sometimes.
Just the soup dog randomly just leaves little lines of soup spelling out a letter.
Yeah. And it's sometimes just the cool S.
Yep. Just as Stussy. Sorry,
Alice needs more friends, man.
sorry, not sorry for the emotional torment.
But only they lost both their robot Pookie and their dead Pookie.
I don't think
And my
Atlas.
dragon
I don't think
Pookie.
Atlas would be okay
And the dragon
saying that Sjel is a Pookie, given that Sjel is a happily married man, albeit dead.
Pookie is a platonic word for me, at least.
Samesies.
Then use it how you will
Pookie
for
is
Sjel.
platonic.
Sjel would probably look at you like you're crazy for using that.
I'm glad this is just a separate story.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. We've spent so much time on this that it doesn't feel like it's a side thing.
I didn't get the chance to put more time into the other 2 chapters. I couldn't do it
It's
for the
because
first
we
chapter
begged you
because
to do
everyone just
epilogues.
kind of like stopped playing, so I'm like, screw it, I'll just put the ending. And then I didn't like the fact that that ended how it did, so I'm like, you know what, chapter 2. And then, you know, things, so I wanted to end it early.
And the only character I've played for you, Dominic, is Atlas.
Indeed.
Ever.
That is so far the only character you have played.
So, I want to play a different character. Like in chapter 3, but also, I want to mess with Evan. Because that would be so funny.
I want to be a little blue moth going yippee.
So Joe won't even be present because nobody picked him as a mentor. Oh, my little brother chose it. I think my little brother chose Oblivion as a mentor, so that'll be fun.
Choose Sjel.
Make Jordan choose Sjel.
No, I want you.
I'm
I
not.
can't pick. Oh.
I'm not gonna force somebody to pick a different character as a mentor. Everyone had their choice. They made their choice. You shouldn't have made Lunaria appealing and fitting. That's your own fault.
Bro, I don't get how she's appealing. She's a dumbass. I'm not even proud of her as a character.
Have you forgotten
I
who
didn't get
Jordan
to work
is?
out. Huh?
Have you forgotten who Jordan is?
I didn't even get a chance to work on Lunaria that much because I was like at work for half the sessions.
Yeah, you really didn't get a chance to actually play.
I know. I'm disappointed
There
in that
probably
character.
wouldn't have been. There probably would have been more sessions if it wasn't for the need and want to end it early. But don't worry. Once chapter 9 comes around, because that's the rebirth chapter.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be
Is
the same.
Sjel gonna come back in that?
Remember, Sjel comes back
Yeah,
as
he's
a
gonna be
cowboy?
a cowboy.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool.
He comes back as a cowboy. His bow gets switched out for a revolver.
You're spoiling all this.
I've already spoiled all of it.
No, but you're recording still.
Oh shit.
That's fine. It's a sneak peek.
There's not.
It's a sneak peek.
There's not. Here's that fine.
It's a sneak
Here's that fine.
peek. It is
No,
a
Alexis,
sneaky
we're
peek.
here.
Alexis, Stuffy,
Yeah, I am Steffi.
Imagine.
are you crying too? Because I'm crying.
No, I've been sick.
Oh,
I'm giving a sneak peek. We already gave sneak peeks into chapter 3, so why not chapter 9? A chapter that's not going to happen for like how long? Huh?
I do want to say, now it's the rough cloth. Oh, I knew it, you son of a bitch. Alexis was.
No,
Yo.
no,
That back to what I was saying. Atlas is probably gonna take just like a single rough cloth, like it's their teddy bear, and just like rub it on their face because comfort. It's gonna be like their childhood blankie.
Except it's in memory of one of their closest friends.
Yeah.
It's a memory of one of the only friends they've had that could have been such a jackass, but also such a good friend at the same time.
The sweetest jackass I ever knew.
He would probably get at you for even saying that.
Yep. Yeah.
He would emerge out of hell
he just hears you say, "You're the sweetest jackass I ever knew." What the fuck am I made out of then? Sugar?
Yes.
Well, look at me, I'm a donkey made of sugar. What's next? I'm gonna be made out of tarts. It has gotten oddly quiet. This is a good note to end this recording.